Many video games implement cooldowns as a gameplay mechanic, introducing strategic decision-making. Use an ability for a specific tactical advantage, then face the opportunity costs of a cooldown period. In Overwatch, the impact of using a cooldown is clear. If you deploy Kiriko's Immortality Ball to remove anti-healing from a teammate, you won't have it for the next 15 seconds to save your team from a lethal Junkrat tire. However, in Valorant, what even is the point of having an ability on cooldown, like Omen's Dark Cover, Sova's Recon Dart, or KO's Knife? And why can't Skye recharge her Guiding Light anymore? To fully understand rechargeable abilities, we need to understand what's worth using utility for and when those opportunities to use utility happen. Valorant rounds typically follow a specific rhythm. First is initial contact, which will be a fight for at least one extremity at the start of the round in order to gain access to further space for the site. If the initial skirmish is tough, attackers might attempt to control the map's midsection or explore other unchallenged extremities. This can happen anywhere from 20 to 45 seconds after the initial contest. Then, either the attackers will re-hit the original extremity and try to repeat the process after forces diverted from the original site, or finish the rotation and execute onto the other site. Keep these time frames in mind. Now that we've established a rough timeline of a round, we can examine utility usage throughout. Let's use something simple. A smoke. What does it do? It blocks vision. Crossing through smoke puts you at a disadvantage. Enemies spot you first, and if you can't react swiftly, you risk getting eliminated, reducing your team's firepower. So in that way, it will prevent access to an area of the map because you take a heavy risk in order to put your body there and fight for control. Without smoke, visibility is restored, allowing movement into areas that would typically be highly dangerous. When you smoke, let's play defenders. You do not want the attackers to easily have control of the site, so you make it difficult to contest the fights that would allow them to get onto site unpunished if won. This smoke lasts for 15 seconds, and now attackers will incur a risk when they push out of the smoke. You're now down to just one smoke. There are many spaces in the map that attackers could contest. All will help them move towards the win condition. Deploying a smoke early in the round eliminates the chance to use both simultaneously for defending key areas later on. During the 15-second window, when your first smoke has faded and hasn't recharged, you're limited to using just one. Your strength is now reduced during that 15-second period against strategies that exploit the fact that you only have one smoke now. But now your smokes recharge. If the attackers are stalled enough for your second smoke to recharge, you will be at full strength and flexibility by the time they have taken space in the second phase and re-hit. Therefore, you're allowed to have a little bit more fun and agency over the situation. So, now we understand how cooldowns play within the flow of the game, we can start to understand why Skye's flash pre-nerf was so powerful and offered too much flexibility, and why Riot nerfed Skye. Flashes, in the context of tactical shooters, do one thing, that is to deny vision for a short period of time, but not for the team using the flash, swaying a fight in their direction. But when you play a shooter like Valorant, maybe that's not all they do. Skye's flash can also pinpoint an opponent's location, especially if deployed in isolated areas. This is extremely strong, meaning you will understand both where an enemy player might be, informing your team of where to most valuably use their firepower and utility, improving your chances in all phases of the round, and be able to contest space favorably. Having a 35-second cooldown on Skye's flash allows for its use in the game's initial contact phase, retains another for making rotations or contesting spaces within the next 35 seconds, and keeps one ready for the final strategic push in a 3-stage cycle. While this sounds reasonable, Skye's flash, unlike typical blinds or smokes within a single function, now serves two overlapping purposes, enhancing its tactical utility. Throughout this 3-stage cycle, we can roughly say that there are 6 things Skye can use her Guiding Light for. In contrast to other flash initiators like KO and Breach, whose flashes don't recharge, Skye can perform nearly 3 times as many actions per round with just one ability, giving her a significant edge. With her flashes being controllable, this further removes a significant portion of counterplay available against this piece of utility. If you see a windup of a flash, you usually know to turn from it because the flash will always detonate once displaying its intent, and that's not good if you look straight at it. However, Skye's guiding light, having a selectable detonation time, forces you to gamble crazily about if you can wait, turn it, or just raw dog the angle. This made Skye a little bit more challenging to counter than she already was. Now, with her flash required to detonate at the end of its flight, there's a bit more predictability that lends a sense of safety. Utility does not just mean the literal pieces of utility an agent might have in their kit, but also the amount of things that ability can do. By expanding an agent's already flexible toolkit, Riot allowed this precision-focused game to become a little bit overly saturated with abilities to the point where it hindered other initiators from performing effectively in competitive play. This design philosophy has largely been fixed, and Riot haven't made many more of these mistakes in the current direction of intentional utility. Next video, we will go over how and why Riot turned ISO into a diabolical monster for genuinely good reasons, but with poor execution. Stay tuned. Thinking of making content? You might be interested to know that this video was made with Consigliere, a tool that helps creators optimize their viewer retention. Plug in a script draft, and based on real data, Consigliere will predict changes you should make to keep viewers on your video and grow your channel. Click the link in the description to learn more and try it out today.